Right now I'm in Romania. We're going to be doing in real life investigations. We're talking about Elodia. Elodia was a lady that disappeared and the public went crazy because they didn't know what happened. Eventually, the husband got involved because they found red stains in his apartment, in the car that belonged to Elodia. When I said red stains, you should know what I'm talking about. So there's this whole conspiracy that he murdered his wife. But the moral of the story is today in 2024, her body, or herself, if she's still in this world, is not found. So as I was walking in Romania, I seen something that stood out to me and I want to show you. Alright, so as you can see right here, it's the whole Elodia thing. They got the bladders here. The bladders all right here. They got the footsteps. They have everything all right here with the Elodia thing. As bad as I didn't want to call it a thing, I didn't know what to call it. I didn't know what was the meaning behind that. But I just knew some locals who got some red paint and made it look like a crime scene.
I don't care, I paint the town red.
But then I thought of this idea. I'm already in Bucharest. Murder. And basically show you how everything went down for the women.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Why not talk about a serial murderer? At a coffee shop, her name was Flavia. Now Flavia, she was with her friends in the area. She was in the area and she was walking to a bus stop. The problem was Flavia was with a friend. She pointed out and she said, look, it's a guy over there. He's stalking us. He's looking right at you though, Flavia. I think he maybe like you, maybe think you attractive. She paid no mind to it and she decided to get on the bus. She was now at the bus stop. Okay. When she got on the bus, this is where it started to get weird. The man was just staring at her. Direct eye contact. Not taking his eyes off her at all. So when she gets off the bus, she's walking home, she thinks she's safe. But Eon come out of nowhere. A cat. Meow? I mean, you're messing up my video, but you're so damn cute. Like I was saying. Eon comes out of nowhere, he hits her on the back of the head and he drags. So it get crazy around this area because this is a park. The reason why this park is important is because he drags her unconscious body to the park. And when he brings her in the area, he forces himself on her, takes off everything. He ends up raising her arms up, jabbing her with a knife, able to escape and then run out. Sees a car, she runs out to the car and the man saves her. With her adrenaline, even though she's leaking bad, she was able to run to the car, flag the person down, and he was able to bring her to the hospital even though nobody saw because it was late at night. She was just walking from work and Eon got away. He ran away. Now, it's clear as day when someone is looking at you like that, you're not going to immediately think, oh, he's a serial killer. Oh, he wants to do something to me. You might just think he's a creep or he really, really is attracted to you. Around this time, it was not looking safe for the girls around this city, in Romania, Bucharest to be exactly. They was not safe. He found another victim, working at a shoe store. So when she leaves the shoe spot, you know she's walking, minding her business. Ian, the serial killer, comes out of nowhere, hits her on the back of the head. He takes her purse, he takes her shoes, all of her expensive looking belongings, and he runs off. She gets up and chases him all the way down. Of course, she couldn't catch up to him. He ends up getting away. She survives though. He didn't murder her. So bad to the point to where you could have been anywhere. Let's just say you're not walking out and about in the middle of the street at night. A girl was in her apartment complex all alone at night. Two key factors: all alone and at night. No matter where you was at, you was not safe. So Margarita goes inside the apartment. Now to get in, you gotta scan like this. It unlocks and you open it. So this is where I whisper at because it's completely quiet. So she was going up the steps. She wanted to take the elevator. Now the elevators is kind of old school, so sometimes it don't work. The elevator did not work, so she ended up going up the steps. He came out of nowhere, hit her with the pipe, dragged her to the basement, and he R-worded her. She survived though. She got lucky. Damn. Let's hope I don't. Wow, this is crazy. I'm boxed in. If you claustrophobic, do not do this. Take the steps. Okay. Whoa. Because it's so old school, like it feel like I'm gonna get stuck. Don't take this if you claustrophobic. Please don't. But it's nice though. Old school. Now, the theories around him on why he was like this in the first place was because he was rejected by girls a lot when he was younger. High school, college, around those years, he was still a bit strange. Because people would invite him over with girls, he would always want to sleep with them, and he would say out his mouth, if I'm not sleeping with them, then why are they here? And these girls would reject him and reject him and reject him. And I believe that this played a big key factor on why he would just target strictly girls, and why he took his anger out on them, becoming a serial killer, just murdering them. Mind you, the girls that he murdered did not reject him in the past. He just found a girl that was all alone and vulnerable and went for it. Now, since we're on the topic of women dying, and since I'm traveling, I'm a solo traveler. Now, there was this girl named Nevaeh. She was traveling alone, all by herself. She believed she was about to get trafficked. When she landed at the airport and she was at the baggage claim, this man started watching her.
There's a guy that's been walking around a little bit and keeps smiling at me. And he looks like he's probably like 45. And he came up to me and he went, "Are you streaming?" Because he saw my camera. And I said no, and he was like, "Oh, okay, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm YouTubing." And then he asked, he's like, "Can I have your stuff?" And he pointed at his phone, and I think he meant like my channel. But to be honest, I didn't really want to give it to him. I don't need his sub. I don't know if he meant that or my contact information. He's being a little weird. But I was like, no. Then he just went, "Oh, okay, and walked away. And then he came back. He was like, you're beautiful. And then he walked away.
I don't know what it is about people getting watched first before something creepy happening. But remember, he watched her. Then he just got the balls to approach her. But wait, remember, he approached her. Then he walks away. Then he comes back and he said, "Oh, you're beautiful. I'm sorry." Then he walks off. Then he comes back. And this happens.
My phone number? I think I'm gonna move areas because that guy is kind of creeping me out, so.
Now, right from the airport, she wanted to go to a YouTube conference. What she didn't know though, the same man followed her all the way to the YouTube conference.
Of standing alone, a guy approaches me. When you show up to the conference, they give you a lanyard badge and a bracelet. You can't take the bracelet off the entire conference. It says you're supposed to be there. He did not have either, so I am certain he did not belong there. And that's kind of when I realized, like, oh, I think I've been followed and this guy's been watching me.
Now, I seen that she says she was at the airport in Texas. That's where she landed at, and that's where the trafficking situation happened at, where she was followed. Listen to this. 2 men had this lady coming from Germany, landed in the Texas airport. She ran away from these 2 men. The 2 men couldn't find her. So they tried to say, "Hey, I can't find this lady. She's my mother. I don't know where she's at."
I got a call from a guy. He said, "I'm missing my mother. She flew from Lubbock and she's going via Frankfurt and I haven't heard from her."
But remember, this mother is a trafficked woman. They're just playing it off.
Sure enough, it was the lady that the guy had been looking for.
That 52-year-old woman was from an Eastern European country. She had been human to Texas by 2 men.
No one could find her because the whole time she's hiding in the bathroom. And she don't just hide in the bathroom for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. She hide in the bathroom for 10 days.
She got away from her human and she hid in a bathroom for like 10 days in this airport.
For Phillips, the call from someone claiming to be the victim's son didn't sit well with her.
And to me, it raised a red flag. She had no luggage, she had no passport, she had no money.
Airports is crazy. We have another IRL investigation in another country. Now look, some of you might have seen this and might know about this. If you have not, you in for a treat. Little spoiler alert, it's a man that targets straight women. This one is a little bit much more crazier though. Well, no murder is crazier than another murder. It's just a little bit more strange. You'll see. But first, snacks! Look, thank y'all for having y'all snacks. Thank you for having your snacks every day. Look, I'm talking to the special person. Got a lot of the same people sending me their snacks every time. I love you, especially when y'all with y'all friends. So y'all already know what I'm about to say. Shout out Corey X Kitchen, GGYS. Go get your snacks.
I just started off in your world.
It's probably not a good thing that I'm gonna put this on the bed. Never mind. Life hack: if you want to fit more in your suitcase, don't fold, roll. So right now I'm in Europe. When I like to travel this big earth, I like to discover the serial that lurk the area.
He had a gun.
He told me to not scream. I was begging my sister, like, we have to go to a hotel. He's gonna come here tonight. We're gonna die.
Which I did. I'm here in Latvia. I'm in the capital, Riga. And here lurked this serial named Caspers. This guy had only one target, and that was elderly women. He will murder 38 of them, possibly more. And what's so tragic about this, the public don't know that there is a serial lurking in the areas, but the police do.
They simply didn't tell us. They didn't let the information on the media, and yeah, they don't tell. In the USA, they they are obliged to tell the public, but here it's not a common practice to inform the public about crimes.
Now Caspers is his first name, Petrus is his last name. When he was younger, he liked being the center of attention.
Because when you're a kid, your life depends on your parents. And when you feel like no one sees you and no one hears you, or you get breadcrumbs of it and you know what it feels like but you don't usually get it, see you and acknowledge you, you don't exist. So you might develop the natural need to be in the center of attention.
When he didn't have his way, aka having the center of attention, he would act a fool, do dumb things, silly things, and he would get in trouble a lot. He did poorly in school. Not only that, when he turned 18, he got in trouble for stealing. So this guy, he had a little bit of a background, but it wasn't too much to be like, oh, this guy is going to become a serial killer. Watch out for this creep. But there was one officer that came out and said this guy needs to be in jail for the rest of his life, because he's the one that arrested him and he seen something in him that nobody else did. And he said, I promise, if you let this guy out of jail, because you know he was a bad kid, so he went to jail, but if you let him out of jail, he will be a criminal for all the wrong reasons, aka murdering people. Now I'm about to go out in Riga, the city, the capital, and I'm gonna tour you around. I'm gonna show you how it is there, how beautiful it is there, and how easy it is that anyone could become a target.
Specific study on this kind of a serial killer, that the victim's age and their vulnerabilities were primary reasons for the assaults.
Now what's the first place we're gonna visit? We're gonna start off really not little. We're starting off big. Shopping center.
He would hunt for his victims at a nearby shopping center.
I was shopping. I was in Zara, American Eagle, and I noticed this sketchy looking man, and his phone is still staring straight at me, gripped in his hand.
What?
African people is very strong.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you might be like, why explore there? Because where's the best place you can meet elderly women? Remember, he's targeting just elderly women. And at shopping centers, it's all ages. So it works perfect for him. Alright, so we in the mall right now. So as I'm here in the mall, I discovered a fact. It's a fact about Latvia. The country is majority girls than men. It's doubled by a lot. Actually doubled by a lot. Because as I'm walking around the mall, I'm seeing girl after girl after girl after girl. And then a couple of men here and there. Now see, as you can see, as I'm scrolling through, you see a lot of elderlies.
The predators that we spoke with shared that the victim's age and their vulnerabilities were primary reasons for the assaults.
Okay, so ignore this background music. But what I did notice is a lot of these elderly women sit down and catch a breather and they relax on their phone alone. And that would be the perfect time for him to come up to them, approach them, get their name, and just run game and go on dates, and it will work.
They learned that many times the elderly are just plain lonely and their support system is less than ideal. They've lost their ability to reason, and they accept help or companionship a little more readily. All of these challenges are components that these predators, and this predator in particular, tried to exploit. It causes us to reflect on our own parents and aging loved ones. Have we spent the appropriate amount of time with them?
Now, he would get bored with this. He didn't want to go at shopping centers, cold approach, make the girls feel more comfortable with him after he date them and make them feel very free around him and then murder them. He wanted to spice it up a little bit more.
This method of grooming his victims became just too time consuming.
Because he became addicted to murder.
We were dealing with a monster.
It became a thirst. What he would do is he would go to flats. Now flats, that's what they call it in Europe. It's apartments. He would stalk certain elderly women, make sure they live alone, and make sure they live at the flat, the right flat. You don't want to knock on the wrong door and do the wrong thing. So he want to make sure he stalked for a very long time, make sure she always alone. And once he got that jotted down in his head, he would go up to the door, knock on the door. When she opens the door, he forces himself in and he assaults her, then murders her. Strangulation, that would be his method, and he fell in love with it. And he would do it multiple times. And also what you need to understand in Riga, in the center, is that everyone is walking. Everybody not driving like how it is in America. Here everyone is walking and everyone is just doing their own thing. When you dig deeper into like this case that I'm digging into, then you're gonna know exactly how deep and crazy this gets, because it's a lot of elderly people here. Like it's just elderly people here. How easy it is for like this serial killer to just stalk somebody and follow them home. This gets so deep. This is what this guy would do after he murdered his victims, after coming in their apartment, assaulting them, then strangling them. Look at this. Okay, so now the pillow is the person. I have it like this on purpose, and I'm the creep, standing right after the strangulation, in front of the bed. Now look, this guy plan worked. So remember, the pillow is the victim. He will make the bed after he dresses the victim up in a nightgown, because now the victim is asleep and the victim was strangled by hand. But the family would come in the door, discover their family member not waking up. So you go up to your family member, try to shake them up, but they're not waking up. So it's assumed that they died in a sleep. And guess what? His plan worked.
The way he went undetected was he managed to strangle his victims so that there were no strangulation marks, really. The police or the relatives or the doctors couldn't tell at first that there was a murder committed.
Petros even came and said, you know, I have a method. My method would be, I would knock on the door and say that I work for a gas company. This is an emergency and I need to check your meter ASAP. Now, some people being vulnerable would let this person in, because some people just let him in. And he goes on and he says, as I go in, I ask the lady, can I use the bathroom? And when I use the bathroom, I get a towel and I strangle her to death with it. I don't know how he strangled this person or suffocate this person, but he leave no marks when he do it. Then he says, oh, when I was done, she had red coming out her nose, so I got another towel and wiped it up. She had money laying around, so I took the rest of her money, both of the towels, her keys, and I left like it was a normal day. Not to mention though, I did vomit after. I felt really bad. I was like sick to my stomach and I vomited. But after I vomited, I actually went to another neighbor's door, knocked on the door, elderly lady answered the door, and I attacked her. Yes, literally after minutes of murdering somebody, I attacked another person. But this lady started screaming in a way that kind of scared me off, so I ran away and she lived. She was probably the only one to survive my attacks. So shout out to her, salute to her for being so brave to scream, I guess. The guy was weird. The reason this guy was caught was because of a fingerprint that one of the investigators noticed. It came out as Petros, so he was a suspect. When he was questioned, Petros immediately started saying it was me. I did it all. He started confessing immediately. And you probably be like, why he started confessing immediately? Well, remember he commented I was vomiting because I felt bad after. He really did feel bad after, but it was such an addiction and he loved doing it so much, literally every month for 3 years straight until he got caught, that when he did get caught, he really didn't care to admit it.